Ceramics are all around us in tiles, cups, filters, and even spacecraft. But in recent years, a new claim has emerged that certain ceramic materials, when heated, emit special healing frequencies or can kill viruses just by being present in a room. Some products based on these ideas are sold online, marketed as tools for wellness or disease prevention. But is there real science behind these claims? Or are we confusing ancient materials with... This is the heart of the ceramic healing frequency debate, the belief that ceramics can emit invisible energies that rejuvenate the body or neutralize pathogens. While parts of this idea are rooted in real physics, much of it is a blend of misunderstood science, hopeful speculation, and clever marketing. Let's begin with a basic question. What do ceramics actually emit when heated? The answer is infrared radiation, specifically far infrared radiation, waves of heat that your body also emits. Certain ceramics, such as those doped with tourmaline, zirconia, or silicon carbide, naturally radiate energy in the 4 to 14 micrometer range when warm. This overlaps with the human body's own thermal signature, and researchers have shown that such far infrared exposure may help improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and even accelerate wound healing. That sounds promising, but is that a healing frequency? It's not exactly. The term healing frequency does not exist in mainstream physics or biology. It comes primarily from alternative medicine, where it is often used vaguely to describe everything from vibrations of the body to scalar waves or bioresonance. While the biological effects of far infrared heat are supported by experiments, the broader claim that specific frequencies emitted from ceramics heal tissue on their own without any temperature change or biochemical mechanism is not backed by any rigorous data. Now let's ask, can ceramics kill viruses? Surprisingly, the answer here is yes, but only under certain conditions. Some advanced ceramics, like titanium dioxide, TiO2, can perform photocatalysis when exposed to ultraviolet or visible light. This process generates reactive oxygen species, tiny, energetic molecules that damage viral proteins and membranes. These effects have been demonstrated in the lab against viruses including influenza and coronaviruses. Additionally, ceramics doped with silver or copper can release ions that are directly toxic to microbes. So yes, ceramics can fight viruses, but not passively. They need light, heat, or a chemical trigger. Simply placing a ceramic in a room will not sterilize the air unless it is engineered for active function. Why, then, are people so drawn to the healing frequency idea? There are a few reasons. Desire for natural healing. Ceramics are ancient, earthy materials. Associating them with wellness is comforting. Misunderstood science. People hear infrared or energy and assume it must mean invisible healing power. Marketing language, phrases like bioresonance or scalar energy sound scientific but often lack clear definitions. Placebo effect. Belief in a product can produce real feelings of relief even without a physical mechanism. To be clear, far infrared radiation is real, and certain ceramics can produce it. This may support certain healing processes, such as improved circulation or reduced muscle stiffness when used appropriately, like in heated pads or saunas. But claims that ceramics emit special frequencies that heal the body or kill viruses on their own stretch the truth beyond scientific support. Another area of real scientific interest is porous ceramics and nanostructured surfaces. Materials like mesoporous silica or nanostructured alumina are used in water purification, drug delivery, and even antimicrobial coatings. Their power lies in surface chemistry, adsorption, and reactive interfaces, not invisible waves. This leads us to a deeper question. If some effects are real, why wrap them in mystical language? The answer may be that science sells less easily than miracles, but conflating thermal physics with pseudoscientific terms does not help public understanding. It blurs the line between what is plausible and what is purely speculative. Some ceramics, especially those doped with specific metal oxides, can emit far-infrared FIR radiation when heated, which overlaps with the human body's thermal emission range, 4.40 m. FIR radiation is absorbed by biological tissues and can promote mild thermal effects such as vasodilation and increased circulation. This has led to studies investigating FIR-emitting ceramics in wound healing, inflammation reduction, and pain management. However, the term healing frequencies is not a recognized scientific concept and often lacks a defined physical or biological mechanism. In mainstream science, FR benefits are attributed to thermal energy transfer, not to energy fields or frequencies as framed in alternative medicine. Tourmaline-doped ceramic fabrics have been reported to improve microcirculation in animal wound models due to emitted FR, like a warm compress stimulating blood flow, not because of mystical energy, but due to gentle heat penetrating the skin. FIR ceramics emit infrared radiation naturally when heated because their molecular structure allows efficient photon emission in the thermal IR range. Materials like zirconium oxide, silicon carbide, and tourmaline are engineered to maximize this emissivity. FIR interacts with water molecules in tissues, generating localized warming that can aid metabolic and circulatory processes. The energy is too low to cause cellular damage, but enough to create subtle biological responses. These effects are thermal, not quantum or frequency-tuned in a targeted biological sense. In rodent studies, FR ceramic discs improved full-thickness wound healing by enhancing dermal blood flow. Like using a heated stone to relax muscles, the benefit comes from temperature, not a tuned frequency. Certain ceramics do show antiviral and antibacterial activity, particularly when coated or doped with active agents, like silver, copper, or titanium dioxide. These materials can generate reactive oxygen species, ROS, under light photocatalysis or heat, which damage viral membranes and proteins. The effect is strongest under UV or visible light for TiO2, while metal ion release mechanisms function in ambient conditions. Ceramic filters and coatings have been developed for healthcare and environmental applications, but only specific compositions and treatments yield consistent antiviral effects. Importantly, not all ceramics are antiviral. Performance depends on formulation, structure, and activation conditions. Copper-doped ceramics have been shown to reduce SARS-CoV-2 viability on surfaces by releasing virucidal ions. Like a kitchen sponge treated with bleach, it becomes antimicrobial not because of the sponge itself, but due to the added agent. The structure and porosity of ceramic materials determine their surface area, adsorption properties, and thermal behavior, which in turn influence their infrared emissivity and biological interactions. Nano-structured or mesoporous ceramics can retain heat more efficiently and interact with biological fluids or airborne particles more effectively. Surface topology also affects how viruses or bacteria adhere to the material, which is critical for filtration or deactivation. Porous ceramics such as alumina and mesoporous silica are used in biomedicine not because they emit healing energy, but because their geometry supports functionality. Therefore, form is as important as chemistry in tuning a ceramic's performance. Mesoporous TiO2 has been used to photoactivate influenza viruses due to its high surface area and light response to surface. Like a sponge, designed with extra holes not to radiate magic, but to capture and neutralize more dirt. Annealing frequencies is a term commonly used in alternative medicine to describe unspecified energies or vibrations thought to stimulate health. In scientific fields like biophysics and materials science, such terminology is generally considered imprecise and unsupported. While FIR radiation can produce physiological effects, attributing these outcomes to frequencies without a well-defined mechanism introduces pseudoscientific ambiguity. Frequencies in physics refer to oscillation rates of waves, and FIR falls within a well-known spectral range, not an esoteric category. Therefore, equating FIR ceramic function with undefined healing frequencies misrepresents the underlying physics and biology. Despite commercial claims, no study has demonstrated that ceramics emit targeted frequencies that independently promote tissue regeneration, like calling sunlight a soul activator. A poetic phrase, but not a scientific explanation for vitamin D synthesis. Heat can inactivate viruses by denaturing proteins and disrupting lipid membranes, and ceramics can retain and radiate heat effectively. However, not all heated ceramics reach the temperatures necessary to kill pathogens unless specifically engineered for that purpose. Some applications involve ceramics that achieve localized high temperatures under solar or electrical heating to disinfect air or surfaces. Still, passive room temperature ceramics do not kill viruses merely by being present unless doped with bioactive agents. Thus, the disinfection role of ceramics depends more on thermal dynamics or catalytic action than on vague energy concepts. Infrared heaters with ceramic elements can reduce airborne viral load in closed spaces by elevating ambient temperatures. Like boiling water with a ceramic kettle, it's the heat that sterilizes, not the material's hidden frequency. Ceramic materials are widely used in medicine not for frequency emission, but for durability, biocompatibility, and specific chemical or structural properties. Applications include bone grafts, dental implants, antibacterial surfaces, and drug delivery systems. Many of these rely on how the ceramic interacts with biological fluids or integrates with tissue, not on radiation or vibrational emission. Engineered ceramics can also support cell adhesion, enhance osseointegration, and serve as scaffolds for tissue regeneration. These applications are based on measurable physical and chemical parameters, not abstract metaphysical energy fields. Hydroxyapatite ceramics are used in orthopedic surgery due to their chemical similarity to bone and high bioactivity, like using bricks to build a hospital, not to emit healing energy, but to provide structure and support for recovery. Scientific studies support that flare-emitting ceramics can aid healing via thermal effects and that certain ceramic compositions can kill microbes through photocatalysis or ion release. However, the claim that ceramics emit healing frequencies is not supported by scientific evidence, nor is the idea that simply being near ceramics offers passive therapeutic benefits. Material performance depends on composition, surface engineering, environmental conditions, and application-specific design. Any health or antimicrobial claims should be grounded in peer-reviewed evidence, not metaphysical assertions. Therefore, critical scrutiny is essential when evaluating health products based on ceramic materials. A ceramic face mask coated with silver nanoparticles may inactivate viruses on contact, but not due to energy fields. Like armor that protects because of its composition, not because it sings a healing song. Ceramic materials possess remarkable properties that can be harnessed for health, safety, and environmental applications, but these functions are rooted in physics, chemistry, and materials science, not mysticism. Their ability to emit FIR, retain heat, or deactivate viruses comes from well-understood mechanisms like emissivity, surface area, and photocatalysis. Claims of healing frequencies often conflate these real effects with vague, untestable ideas that fall outside the scope of evidence-based medicine. While innovation in ceramics continues to yield exciting technologies, responsible communication must distinguish between verifiable science and marketing mythology. Let the wonder of material science speak for itself without invoking frequencies that cannot be defined, measured, or reproduced. ceramic therapy pads help chronic pain patients by warming tissues and improving circulation, not by transmitting invisible energies. Like cooking with fire, not magic, it's the heat that works, even if the flames dance beautifully.